here, it's all juicy. I'm gonna go in. It's so soft. Oh my gosh. That looks bomb. What's up, Hungry Ant Eaters? Welcome back to another episode of Hungry Ant. I love simplifying and making my cooking very easy to follow for you guys. And let's face it, quarantine or not, when we have kids or we're working from home, it's very difficult to cook for a very long time. So sometimes I like to prepare my meals the night before or even days before, depending on how tasty I want it to be. So today I'm making my very famous fall off the bone oven roasted ribs. The thing I love the most about making ribs is that once it's marinated and we can toss it into the oven, we toss it in there for about 2.5 hours, and now I can spend time with the kids, get some work done around the house, do some other work, or even be with my wife. So it's not like we're constantly cooking and sauteing stuff the whole time. We actually make time for ourselves. So that's the best thing I love about this. So if you guys are ready, let's make some bomb food. We have our rack of ribs here. These are pork ribs. You guys can use beef ribs, you can use baby back ribs. It doesn't really matter. This is just, I get a 3-pack from Sam's Club, and it's very, very cheap. We can make this meal for, this is about like a $7 rack here that we're making. And when you go out to eat, it's like 25 bucks. Really expensive, but we're gonna do it very simple here and it feeds the whole family. So we got some green onions, some ginger, some brown sugar, garlic, sesame oil, Hoisin Sauce, Oyster Sauce, and some soy sauce. These 3 guys are pretty much your essential for all Chinese cooking. These are the 3 bases that you need. So this is gonna be a little bit of a Chinese flavor. And the first thing we gotta do is, I cleaned the ribs already, but to make it tender and fall off the bone, we got to cut off the skin on the back. And that is one of the 2 steps to making it very tender and very juicy and tasteful. So we're gonna go ahead and take this off. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. See, there's a little hole here and this rubbery skin, I don't even know what it's called. We're gonna go ahead and take that off. So we'll just get our fingers in there. Now we can rip it off. And it should come off in one easy peel if I can get a good grip. Okay, there you go. That right there is what we want to get out. If you don't take this off and we skip this step, it's still very chewy and the meat doesn't fall apart. Just like that. So that was pretty simple. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start the marinating process. So I got a big pan that's gonna fit the ribs. So I'm gonna put this guy in my pot or my pan, okay? So we're gonna grab our hoisin sauce. I have about half a cup that I'm gonna use, okay? And I'm just gonna spread it over the ribs. And then we'll go ahead and do about a 1/4 cup of the oyster sauce, okay? Then a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. We will drizzle some sesame oil on it. Just like that. Now we're gonna add about a tablespoon of garlic. And I have about 1/3 cup of ginger. I'm gonna use half of that and spread it across as well. Okay. And some green onion. I have about a 1/4 cup. I'll use half of that right now. And then now we can just gently mix this guy in. Just like that. Beautiful. You see how it's just getting everywhere? Just want to get everything. So I have about a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. We'll use half of that here and sprinkle it over. Okay, just like that. Make sure we rub the sugar in there. It's gonna add some really nice flavor. And then we'll sprinkle some black pepper on there. And that's it for that side. And then we're gonna do it over on this next side. Same thing, okay? We're gonna use the rest of our sauce. We'll rub this bad boy in there. We really wanna coat the entire rack and mix it well, okay? Oh, it smells really good. Okay. If you guys can see the ribs right now, you see how you can still see the color of the ribs, it's pink. You see the meat textures, and right now the marinade hasn't soaked in yet. So that's why we're gonna marinate it for a few days. Put that brown sugar in there. Okay. If you want, you can get some sauce that's from down here to put back over. And then sprinkle the black pepper again. So I just want to make sure I have all my ginger, my green onions on there, and everything's been rubbed in. Okay, just like that. All right, so earlier I said that there's 2 steps to making it really juicy and really tender. There's actually 3 steps. The second step, when people wrap their meat that they're marinating, one important step is we have to wrap it twice. I wish I had my bigger plastic wrap. And what I mean about wrapping it twice, so we're gonna take our first layer and we're gonna wrap the actual rib. Get the plastic on the rib, seal the sauce and the marinade in there, okay? I don't want it to leak out. This will help the marinade soak into the ribs a lot more. And then now we can actually wrap the tray. So just like that, that is our marinade. And we're gonna marinate this for about 3 days. If we do 1 or 2 days, you guys can do that too. But I've realized 3 days will maximize your flavor. The meat is gonna start to change. You'll see how it's really soaked on the inside of it. So it's very important that I do 3 days. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss this into the fridge. And what I usually do is every day when I wake up and before I go to sleep, I turn it over. And when I turn it over, I rub it a little bit and get some more sauce back on top. And then I put it back into the fridge. That's it. That's all I do, just twice a day. All right, so that's it for the marinade, guys. I can't wait for you guys to see what it's gonna turn out to. It's gonna be delicious, and it's gonna happen in about 1 second. All right, so I took the ribs out of the fridge, and it's been marinating for about 3 days now. And about twice a day, when I wake up and before I go to bed, I've been flipping the ribs and re-rubbing the liquids on there. So let's see what this guy looks like now. Smells really good. Oh yeah, you see that? This right here, this is what we want to see. We want to see all that liquid soak into the meat so it doesn't look like pork anymore. Now it just looks like a lot of the sauce got in there. See all that? That's amazing. Okay, so this is what we'll do. Let's get some sauce back on here. Okay. Re-wet it a little bit. Re-wet the top. All right, so let's make this guy ready for the oven. This is what we're gonna do. I have a rack right here that's gonna sit on top of, and it's gonna allow it to have space underneath. So we're just gonna do that. And the reason why I'm using this rack is it makes it more juicy and tender because I'm gonna add more liquids in here. Let me show you. So just like this, we'll add some water. Okay, put some on this side so we can mix it with the sauce. That looks pretty good. So we did about 1.5 cups of water. We have to seal this guy properly. So I'm gonna use foil and wrap the entire tray. I'm gonna cover this guy. I'm gonna make it nice and Make it nice and tight on the sides so no air gets out. Okay. The more tight we can make it around the tray, the more it's going to be tender and the less dry it's going to be. Okay, but I don't want to smash it down because I still want space above it, above the ribs to where it can cook and kind of just like steam in there. So that's why we put the water in there. You don't want to put too much where it's hitting and boiling on top of the ribs, you know, getting everywhere, splashing, just enough to steam it. So we're gonna put this guy in the oven. I preheated my oven to 300 and we're gonna set it in there for about 2.5 hours and we're not gonna touch it. And then I have some honey here and we're gonna put some honey on that and then we're gonna roast it a little bit longer. So let's get that going because I can't wait any longer. I'm excited. Been cooking the ribs for 2.5 hours. Let's see what this guy looks like. Ooh, it smells really good in the house. Okay, I don't want to burn myself. Okay, bring it out a little bit. So let's take off this foil and see what it looks like. Ooh, look at that. Be careful, don't burn yourself, okay? There we go. Let some of that steam out. You guys ready for the reveal? Wow! Ooh! That looks really, really good. Right when I take off the foil, I love to rehydrate this guy and put some more juices back in there. So I'm getting all the juice that's in the pan. I'm gonna re-wet this guy. It's gonna stay nice and moist. Okay. Just like that. Man, it smells so good. Okay. Now we got the juices on there. We're actually gonna do my favorite part, which is adding honey all over the top, just like that. Okay, I think you guys are starting to know that I love sweet stuff, but I can't have my ribs without honey. Now I want to get some more flavor on here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually put this guy back in, and actually I'm gonna move it to the top rack. And I'm gonna turn the broiler on. All right, so I'm actually gonna turn off the stove and I'm gonna turn the broiler on. Broil 500 start. And we're gonna let it start roasting on the top. And I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. Wow, okay, that looks really, really amazing. I put it on broil for about 5 minutes, guys, and this is perfect. I can't be more impressed on how this looks right now. All right, so I think before I add more honey, I'm gonna re-wet this guy so it stays moist. Yeah, look at that. I love the color. I can see the flavor on there. There you go. That looks really, really good. I'm so excited for this. So one of the reasons why I actually kept it in foil for 2.5 hours and is because you see that right there? That is actually where the meat is falling off the bone. And I know when I pick it up right now, it's gonna fall apart. And that's actually what I really want. I want it to fall apart. I want it to be that tender. I'm gonna show you guys right now when I pick it up, okay? Oh my goodness, it's so soft. How do I do this without it breaking apart on me? Okay. You guys ready? Ooh, it's falling apart. Okay, I'm not gonna let you fall apart. Oh, that's so perfect. All right, this guy is pretty much done. I'm just gonna put some honey on it. Look how thick my honey is, man. This is actual honey from a beehive. One of my friends She has bees. So I got this straight from her farm, which is incredible. It's not all liquidy and wet like the ones you buy at the store. But it's okay if you guys don't have this. Regular honey works. I've used that my entire life. I just got a really awesome friend that wanted to give me some honey. How does that look, guys? Is that beautiful or what? I can't wait to try this. Oh, we need some more honey right here on the top. Just like that. Oh, that looks so good. Okay. That's beautiful. I want to actually flip it over and show you guys what it looks like on the other side. Look at that. You see that? This is where the rib is falling apart. Beautiful. It really matters when you rip off that membrane on the back. All right, I'm ready to cut this guy. Ooh, it's so hot. Oh, look at that. It fell right off the bone. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is amazing. I should just slice it so it doesn't break apart like that. You need a really sharp knife on really tender meat, guys, so it doesn't rip. Like right there, that's the perfect cut. Just gonna cut a little bit more. I'm so happy right now. I wish you guys could be here with me, but watching it with me is just as good. You see this right here? Ooh, it's all tender, it's all juicy. I'm gonna go in. It's so soft. Oh my gosh. Really, really good. Well worth it being on a low heat for 2.5 hours in the oven. This is so good. It's so good. I can't lie about this at all. It's so good. Look at that. It falls apart. I really hope you guys can make this at home. It's so easy. You've seen it. It's really simple. It just takes time. But the best part about it is you're not even cooking for 2.5 hours. You're just leaving it in the oven. Go do your things that you got to take care of around the house and enjoy your day. And then when you're done, you get this beautiful meal. Enjoy it with the family. This is amazing. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you love the food, make sure you guys tag me when you make it. I want to repost it on Instagram. And I can't wait for you guys to try out this recipe. This is actually a family recipe, so no one else has ever tried it that's been outside of my family. Make sure you guys tag me in it so I can see how it is and how you guys enjoyed it, because I'm really excited for that. So on to the next video. Thank you, Anteaters. I'll see you next time. And I'm gonna bring this back to my wife to eat. She's gonna be a very happy camper.
All I want to is to be close to you, but I don't know how and what to do. I'm so shy.